Delegates from the Australia-Lebanon Chamber of Commerce and Industry, headed by Chamber President Mr. Fadi Zouki, OAM, have held their third trade mission to Lebanon. Their purpose was to inspire trade and explore areas of business cooperation between Australia and Lebanon. Why is the ALCCI so important for both Lebanon and Australia?
The ALCCI plays a very important role in building a bridge of commerce between the two nations, Australia and Lebanon. And this has been proven over and over again for the last 4 years. It has created a fairly strong and active activity between the two nations through an exchange of politicians, business people, delegations. This trade mission has been very important for the main reason is we brought some new faces to Lebanon, that some of them haven't even been to the country, to look at opportunities for investments, but also to look at opportunities for investment for Australia as well.
We're incredibly excited to come to Lebanon. It's my first time and we have been absolutely blown away by the hospitality of the local people. Monopoly Property Group, our company specialises in wealth management for international investors, particularly high net worth investors. Lebanon is a fantastic country that is growing in its economy, its people are forward thinking, and we're very excited about the opportunities going forward in Lebanon.
We want to try and see if we can have talks with the various universities here in Lebanon to see whether or not there is any interest in students at those universities coming to Australia to do their medical course. And the intention is that they then return to Lebanon to serve disadvantaged populations within the Lebanon community.
Fadi Zouki and the Australian Lebanese Chamber of Commerce, they're doing a great job. They make us so proud. It's a great visit, make us so confident about Lebanon, and we are proud to be Australian, and Australia gave us every opportunity.
We believe in bridges builder between Australia and Lebanon, and as a medical group we are really very interested in this association, and we'd like to support it and to enhance their action to create more functioning work between Australia and Lebanon.
What pushed you to join the ALCCI as a businessman?
I've always been inspired by my parents and always wanted to understand a little bit more as to what motivated them, where their culture came from, their background, and really see where I came from in terms of my heritage. And the ALCCI gave me that opportunity. It also gave me the opportunity to connect with the right people through the network that Fadi and the group have formed over the last couple of years.
The Chamber is, to me, a greater bridge. It keeps us all, business people and professional people, in contact with the country where we live in Australia, and also with our country, Lebanon, that we left many years ago. For that reasons, it's so important.
The ALCCI has been providing me with a lot of networking opportunities, has provided me with a lot of insights into business development opportunities, business matching opportunities, customer insights into Lebanon. It has given me insights into connections into the right people in the right places.
What pushed me to become a member with Fadi's new organisation in Australia was because I had been working to promote Australia and Arab relations, and I wanted to encourage more of my Lebanese friends who seem to ignore their Lebanese culture, their Lebanese tradition, to actually be involved and see the beauty of Lebanon and see the opportunity that they could take up, not just with the Lebanese in Lebanon, but with Lebanese in other parts of the Arab world.
So as an ALCCI member originally from this area, what does Ale, this beautiful city of Ale, have to offer?
Ale is one of the major cities in tourism and also in a lot of other industries. So I'm sure there's a lot of industries and fields that we can cooperate and stimulate the business between the two countries.
During the Ale trip, you mentioned the creation of a sister city to Ale in Australia. Can you tell us more about this?
Sister city is basically getting say a city like Ale or Zug in Lebanon or even Beirut to sign an MOU with a city in Australia that share the same values, from sports, the youth, education, environment, and then again they can change ideas and collaborate together for the benefit of both cities. So when we go back home, we will be talking to two major cities that have a similar type of, as I said, philosophies in operating their local community, and more importantly as well is looking at areas in Australia where they have a significant level of Lebanese population, if you like, or people of Lebanese background.
As part of their efforts to strengthen economic ties between Lebanon and Australia, ALCCI delegates visited their counterparts at the Chamber of Commerce of Tripoli and the North, as well as members of other business associations with whom they had signed memorandums of understanding.
لبنان المقيم ولبنان المغترب على تواصل دائم، وعم نحاول نحن انه ان كانوا اللبنانيين المقيمين او اللبنانيين الاستراليين عم نحاول نفعل الدور لما فيه مصلحة استراليا ومصلحة لبنان. ولكن بما انه اليوم نحن عم نستقبل وفد لبناني استرالي، فمنقول انه نحن حتى يلي منا مقيمين باستراليا منكن لاستراليا حكومة وشعبا تقدير وإكبار، ومنحسها انه هي وطننا الثاني قد ما بنعرف قديش الحكومة الأسترالية والشعب الأسترالي بيحب الشعب اللبناني.
Since the MOU, we have sent a lot of delegates to Tripoli, and that actually utilize the Tripoli Chamber for directions, for assistance, for consulting, and also they use even the premises as actually for meetings. And they came back actually absolutely in awe of the support they received from the chamber here.
Amongst all countries, why are you so attached to Australia? Why did you choose to open branches of Bank of Beirut in Australia?
It's too late now to ask me such a question. You should have asked it before. We are too much involved now. Half of our heart is in Australia. Fadi is a good friend, and all the members that are with Fadi and the ALCCI are good friends of ours. So we have an individual and a common interest with Fadi in the ALCCI.
I think it will be a very good step to work together, because we believe that all the Lebanese who lives in Australia, they need to be communicated with the Lebanese people in Lebanon, and that's our goal in this thing.
Important Lebanese political figures also offered their full support to ALCCI members and vowed to facilitate business opportunities between both countries.
أنا بعتز أن اليوم عم استقبل شباب من غرفة التجارة اللبنانية الأسترالية، وأنا بقول لهم إنه بلدهم بعده محط أنظار العالم اقتصاديا وحضاريا وسياسيا. كل الأمور اللي قصرنا فيها بدها تتصلح، لأنه خلص العبر اتخذت وصار عندنا ثقة أكتر. نحن بلبنان، أنا اللبناني صار عندي ثقة أكتر بالكيان اللبناني، مش إنه بهز ساعة الكيان، ما بهز هذا الكيان. وبطلب من غرفة التجارة تكون هي رسول تبع لبنان، وهن يبشروا إنه نحن مقبلين على هالفقرة الحقبة النمو الاقتصادي.
I think it is only natural for Lebanon to always try to bring back its diaspora to Lebanon, and I think Lebanon has all the potential to do so. Inshallah, with this meeting with everyone here, it's just an encouragement to push them to come back here to Lebanon, invest, and I hope they do. I think it should be Lebanese should come here, and we should also invest in Australia. This is something that will benefit both countries.
Are you planning to go to Australia yourself?
Definitely.
The Australian Lebanese Association is one of the biggest associations that is doing its best to enhance and develop more the trade between both countries.
And we wish success also to the organization, as this Chamber of Commerce is indeed very active and very energetic, and it represents really well the image of the Lebanese we'd like to have everywhere in the world.
Having met with all these responsible people in this country, I found out that Lebanon is not doing that badly, and I found out that Lebanon's future is very prosperous and very promising, and it's a perfect timing to invest today more than ever, because everything at the moment is stagnant and it's not premium, and ultimately it's going to go up.
إذن اللبنانية أرض لاقطة جاذبة عطشة لأبنائها المنتشرين.
This year again, ALCCI delegates attended the Lebanese Diaspora Energy Conference. Held under the patronage of Foreign Minister Gibran Bassil, this unique event has become an annual ritual celebrating the success of eminent figures of Lebanese origin.
وأشعر بالفخر عندما أسمع قصص نجاحاتكم وهي نجاحات للوطن.
The LDE 2016 featured a special panel for Australia involving ALCCI members entitled Embracing Potentials in Australia. Can you tell me why is the LDE, especially this year, so important for the ALCCI to participate in?
In Australia, it's very far for the people. They love Australia, but they don't go there. So we want to show how nice is Australia, how big opportunities are in Australia. So to direct the Lebanese immigrants to go and invest in Australia with the help of the Lebanese immigrants who are in Australia, they can be door openers for the Lebanese and all over the world.
I think having the panel was a great idea and a great initiative by the Foreign Ministry, because it reflects the strength and the depth of the relationship. You know, as we say, we've got almost 500,000 Australian Lebanese, and so I think we deserve one, but it's so important to try and build the trade relationship, and that's what this is trying to do, is build on those links that are already there to put value into it.
I'd like to know what your opinion is about the investment potential between Australia and Lebanon.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you have to look at where there's complementary trade relations. And one would be, because of what we've seen in Australia for the last 10 years, is in energy. And you have proven reserves in natural gas, in particular in oil, in the Eastern Mediterranean. So you could see a natural partnership would be in energy investment. So I think what is important for Lebanon, because of the dislocation in the broader region, and particularly next door in Syria, is that to get the politics right. But while the politics are getting sorted outside Lebanon, is to get the investment climate right.
This historic session witnessed the launching of the International Chamber House and the signing of the Declaration of Intent. The initiative put forward by ALCCI President Mr. Fadi Zouki OAM is an official part of the government agenda.
I have put together an idea to our minister, and that is to try and launch an international chamber house in Lebanon. What I felt is that in order for a diaspora to come back to Lebanon, if you want the chambers of commerce from around the world to come here and become proactive in the Lebanese economy, you must give them a residence. And this is where the idea stems from.
We study a way to join our efforts between all the Lebanese in the continents worldwide to try to find a solution for our country here in Lebanon, what we can provide to this country. I think today it's a really historical day for us.
I think this is a great initiative because what Lebanon needs is that making it easy to do business here, and that's what this sets up. It means people can come here, they've got established networks, established linkages between the chambers of commerce in various countries. And we're not just talking about Lebanon, we're talking about all the countries where the Lebanese diaspora is represented.
We all need each other around the world. We buy from countries that need us, they buy from us, we buy from them. When you get to meet them all, it's like we all became one champion now, not Australia, Brazil, America, Lebanon. We're all one now, we're all connected, and through these events, you can always gain.
More than just aiming to boost economic ties between Australia and Lebanon, the ALCCI values the historical relationship between both countries. In this context, delegates paid a visit to the 267 Australian diggers buried at the Commonwealth War Graves Cemetery in Beirut. What's the importance for the ALCCI to be here today?
It's important for the ALCCI to first and foremost to show the rest of the delegations that the Australian soldiers did come to Lebanon. The Australian soldiers did sacrifice their lives for this country to have liberty. And what we note as well among the diggers is a digger who came from a Lebanese background, who was part of the Australian Army. This says a lot to me. It says that the Australian Army did take on soldiers from all backgrounds and all religions. They never discriminated.
I think it's important for all Australians who are visiting Lebanon to have come and visit the War Graves Cemetery here. The Lebanon campaign is little known back in Australia, but actually it was a major campaign and one of the first involvements of Australian troops in the Second World War. And it was quite significant at the time in coming through into Lebanon and liberating Lebanon from the Vichy French. But when you walk through these immaculate gardens, it gives you a real sense of the sacrifices that people made.
But also we went down to the Dog River, and I took Ben there, and we saw a plaque there that says 1941, the Australian soldiers captured Damour on the southern coast of Lebanon. And also the Australian, the Indian, and the French captured Damascus. And what really struck me is they did all this for the freedom of Lebanon and Syria.
Ultimately, and beyond their business ambitions, ALCCI members are all united by their love for both Lebanon and Australia. As an artist based in Lebanon, and you've been to Australia almost a couple years ago, how did the ALCCI promote you?
Well, it was a wonderful experience. First, it was a pleasure to discover Australia for the first time. It was my first trip there, and it was a big privilege for me to perform at the Sydney Opera House. And this is why I'm very grateful to the ALCCI and especially its president, Mr. Fadi Zoui.
I wouldn't have dreamed connecting with so many wonderful people, in my life, and I look forward to coming back.
I call on all the immigrants all over the world, in Canada, Australia, United States, and Europe, to come back and reinvest in Lebanon. It's our duty now to reinvest in our homeland and to create opportunity for the people who are in need. We have to share what we learned from our experience abroad with our people here.
فادي الزوقي ظاهرة لبنانية في الاغتراب. بتمنى على
أبناء رجالي اللبنانية، الكل يوقف وراه. نتمنى على المسؤولين الاقتصاديين في لبنان أن يفتحوا أكبر الطرق أمام الجسر الاقتصادي اللي عم بيحاول يبني في هذه الزوقي بين أستراليا ولبنان.
Tanya, would you go back to Australia?
I'd love to. I really loved it. It's a very beautiful country. People are so sweet.
I would encourage all Lebanese people, and all people for that matter, to come to Lebanon. This is a beautiful country with beautiful people. This has far exceeded my expectations, and I will definitely be coming back to Lebanon.